Perfect. All right. So I chose doTERRA by happenstance, to be perfectly honest. I happened to find it, had never heard of essential oils in my life. And I was pretty sick and needed some help. And I happened upon doTERRA. But I stuck with doTERRA because you might hear people talk about cost and different things, but their vision and their determination and their ethics are top notch. Like everything they do is to be completely transparent. They work hand in hand with farmers throughout the world. They work with us and continually evolve and make sure that what they're doing is very, very high quality, and that we don't ever have to question that, which is really big in a world full of veils where we don't really get control over things like food and pharmaceuticals and things like that. So it's very nice to have that. But they do, you have to watch the video. If you want the link, I can send that later. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I can go. It's gonna get stuck. There you go. Perfect. So where it all began for me, Pat knows my story a little bit, and I'll just kind of go through it pretty quickly because I'd rather hear about you guys than me. I have 4 kids. I had my 4th child, and after he was born, I started to have some really serious health conditions. So much so that the inflammation in my joints was so bad that people at church were like, what is wrong? Like there was something seriously wrong with me. And I went to several doctors, and after about 6 to 8 months of constantly searching for answers and no specialist after specialist, there wasn't really answers. It was more like, oh, well, there's really nothing we can do. And they were going to give me steroids and pain meds and let me live like that and like do recall visits every 3 months. And I was a young mom of young children, and I just could not be on those meds. So I started searching for a different option. I cleaned out my diet. I paid attention to that. I just really became aware, and doTERRA changed my life. I started their vitamin pack, and I started to gain my life back. The pain was gone. The inflammation was gone. The brain fog was gone. The 2 p.m. naps were gone. It was just like all of that being down in a pit, kind of coming back out and feeling like, wow, I can see the sun again. It's a really, really awesome experience. So before we continue, I did send you guys the ebook, both of you. And if you get that, you don't have to have it now, but if you get it, there is a page for you to take notes. But if you have paper or anything, you're probably going to want to take notes during this, okay? Because one, I talk fast. You can totally stop me. You can ask me questions. This is very us. This is just very intimate. It's okay to stop me. It's nothing professional, okay? This is what the sheet looks like. As a matter of fact, in the email, you should have some links down here. So you can go to doterra.com, and you could go to, as a matter of fact, it looks like I might need to change that, but sourcetoyou.com. And since we're talking about, I mentioned anyway, about transparency, if you look on the bottom of your bottles, the single oils, the blends, they do not give the reports out publicly. They will give you all the stuff that's in them, but that's for keeping them private so that no one can steal the blends. But this is like frankincense. All of the single oils, they test every batch. You can go to sourcetoyou.com and actually see the report done on that exact batch. So I think that is very awesome because it's a third-party lab that shows that. And doTERRA allows them. They're the only company that allows those labs to be printed for public access. Okay, then let me go to the next one. This is where I just love to just stop for a second. And I think this changes for people. Uh-oh, Marnie disappeared. Messenger.
She did say she typically gets a phone call during this time, and she may have to jump out, and perhaps she'll jump back in.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to make sure that she's not trying to jump back on right now, but that way she doesn't miss anything. But I am recording it for her, so that will be okay. All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just trying to get back on. Okay, so she's trying to get back on. I want to make sure I see her. I didn't have to let you in. This is like you can just pop on. So she should be okay. So what we're going to talk about is our top 3 goals here. And what I was mentioning is I feel like probably your goals from the beginning have changed, right? Do you feel like that?
I don't know.
Feel like those same?
Marnie's back.
Hey, your video's working. It's still connecting. I think your audio is still connecting. So you gotta give it a second. So I'm glad I can see your face though. Can you hear us? We can't hear her. She's not muted. Can you hear us? Okay, awesome. All right, Marnie, I'm glad you can hear us. We're going to keep going. Feel free to use the chat, which is just at the bottom of your phone, and you can type in your top 3 goals, or you can text me them, and that's fine. Sometimes having that written down can help with clarity. It can help you really hone in and focus, because sometimes we get the oils and we might be like, oh, I have like all my oils and I don't know what to do with them. And if we write down our top goals, not only do we have a place to look back at, we also have a place to really target. And so I really like, Pat, if you want to share yours, like what do you feel like you're working on?
Well, you know, I started out with trying to get past depression and just the fog. And I think I've moved on to stay healthy and feel as good as I can. As I want to feel vibrant.
Yeah.
You know,
I do.
I'm 70 years old. I'm beginning to kind of bog down.
You're 70 years young.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I want to feel vibrant.
You want to feel vibrant. Okay. Yeah. And I think like you said, you might start in one spot and it is a constant flow of change because we learn ourselves and we have things pop up. Marnie, do you have anything you want to share? Can't hear you. Not sure why. You could text me and I can still talk about it.
If her little mute button's on at the bottom, can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell. It's not on.
Huh.
She's going to text me. You know how Zoom is. Temperamental.
Yeah.
Piper moved Siri or Alexa or the Echo thing into my room, so I hear music in the background. Okay, did you write me? My settings, yes. Trying to get them. What's in your settings?
I hear a little bit of music.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you hear
yeah,
me
there
now?
you are. Yeah.
OMG. Are you kidding me right now?
This is not our first rodeo. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
This is so frustrating. So I'm glad you got it.
That was just crazy. I'm like, okay, and I couldn't even type fast enough to like tell you.
So,
But hey.
hey. Okay, so share your goodness. What are your goals?
Oh, well, you know, I heard what you were saying, Pat, about, you know, it started with depression and that kind of thing. It was the same for me, you know, after my job was eliminated, and, you know, I went hundreds of people, you know, every week to seeing absolutely nobody. And, I just started to, I started to just withdraw from the world. And, I felt, I mean, I even felt like I was having trouble getting out on the road, like driving and things like that, which is just so not like me. I mean, I get in the car and just ride and ride and ride and ride. You know, I mean, 30 years with the American Cancer Society, and you know, up and down all of the state of South Carolina. So, you know, that was so unlike me. And so Pat sent me some of the samples to get me started, because I told her all the issues that I was having. You know, it was anxiety, it was depression, it was all these digestive problems. Then, you know, I've had 2 hip replacements, and I have a, you know, manufactured collarbone where it shattered. So I'm in constant pain. So all of those things, you know, all of the above were issues that I was struggling with. And I literally could not get out of bed some days. So, I mean, whenever Pat sent me those original 4, I knew immediately that was going to be something that was going to work for me.
That's awesome. That's such good news. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yes.
It thrills my heart.
I know, me too.
Well, you were so sweet to bring me I mean, I literally cried. I mean, I was crying. That's why I couldn't even come answer the door whenever you dropped off my gift for Christmas. I mean, I was just, you know, overwhelmed at your kindness, and I just see God working in all of this, and I know that it's a blessing. You know, this may be this may be the answer that I'm looking for, as far as, you know, additional income to, you know, to be able to, you know, supplement what I'm getting from my and that. So I'm truly excited about it, and I've gotten my dad interested in it, and it takes a lot, let me tell you, a lot of, you know.
Well, I didn't know you had gotten that far.
I know, right? Because
Great.
I'm truly interested in it, but you know, he has to find his own. He has to research his own way before he's going to something that I suggest.
Sounds like it, man.
He's an electrical engineer, and he's consistently solving problems. And so whenever he got into this book called The Exodus Effect or something like that, and they had a Trinity oil or something like that he ordered, and he said it makes him real sleepy and that kind of thing. So I said, I'm doing the research, Daddy. I said, just hang tight with me, and I said, and I'll get you some samples that you can try. So that's where we are right now. And he keeps, you know, sending me texts saying, you know, I'm really interested in the oils. I'm really interested in the oils. And I'm like, well, I brought you some oils, so just put them on your feet. Put them on your feet.
That's great, Marnie.
That's
awesome.
Great. Yeah, that's perfect. And you know what I'll do? I'll send you another ebook. Let me write that down. It's basically like 100 ways to use your oils.
Okay, super.
And they're really simple. And I do think for someone like him who really loves research, that's not really what they're looking for, right? They kind of get that on their own. But
exactly.
For me, it was, and I know Pat too, once we learned you can get oils all over the place. Like the reality is, right? But what are you getting? 1. And 2, like I feel like the transparency and then knowing, like I don't feel like I need to ever convince somebody. Like I feel like the oils can do that, and you're not really going to ever convince someone. It really is value. And for me, opening every bottle and knowing where it came from and the community that it came from, and knowing that I'm helping that community, that makes me feel better. When I could open a bottle that's like $5 cheaper, but where did it come from? What mule took it from one farmer and ripped them off to get it to us? And so that matters to me.
And what's really in the bottle.
Yeah.
Right. Pat mentioned too, you know, you don't know what other kind of chemicals could be in these things. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What kind of havoc could that wreak on your body whenever you're using them excessively, you know?
Oh my gosh, there's so much science. So we will go on and on about this, you know. This is a whole nother day. All right. So while you're on here, did Pat tell you about the oils, wine and oils on Saturday?
No, we haven't had a chance to talk. I've
do you drink wine
and some other stuff going on?
Do you drink wine?
Do I drink wine? No, as a matter of fact, through the years, God has just like removed alcohol from, my lifestyle or whatever. It started with me getting headaches from drinking beer. So I changed to wine. And then next thing you know, wine started giving me headaches. And so then I would have me a little vodka and Sprite. And then next thing you know, that's giving me a headache. So I'm just like, zoom, no, I don't need it.
No.
And
Do you drink kombucha?
Do I drink what?
Kombucha?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the alternative that I'm offering. But if you're free Saturday, you're not very far from me. And I have like 3 spots left, and it's at my house. And so it's just a wine tasting. So it's at 2. Nobody's going to be drinking a lot.
Okay. You're taking keys, right?
I'm guarding them. I'm guarding the people.
I got you.
Again, like we're going to have these little tiny things. They can just taste it. And then we're going to go over oils in the bedroom, which I feel like is an incredibly important thing for connection and intimacy in all areas.
I'm out of that picture, right?
Yeah.
Right at this moment. Yeah.
Yes.
But not for the rest of your life.
Do what now?
Not for the rest of your life.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, I'm at the crossroads and I'm still sitting on the fence. My husband left. It's been 10 years now. I can't even believe it. But we're still married, just living in 2 separate households and maintaining a friendship and the ownership of our dogs.
Oh, wow. That's
it's really sad, and procrastinated as long as I can possibly procrastinate, and I don't want to hurt him, but it's just toxic for me.
Yeah, we can talk about this. I was married once before.
Oh yeah.
And that was the same excuse I used.
Procrastinating or not wanting to
hurt him.
Yeah. Well, it's not fair to him and it's not fair to me,
No.
Because he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and the year that my mom died, his mom died 3 weeks later, and then I had to have hip replacement. That year in May, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So he had the incontinence and impotency symptoms or issues. And I believe still to this day that that's the reason he keeps hanging on to me, is because he doesn't want to get out there and, the world and try to start a relationship with somebody else who won't accept that.
Oh, you need to come so you can fix him. I'm just kidding. I'm messing. The class is really about personal connection, but that was funny. That was funny. Teasing.
You can joke with me all day long. I love it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. You're always welcome to come anyway, just as a fun thing. But it is Saturday. All right. So top 3 goals. We kind of went through those. And Pat, I know yours, and I loved hearing yours. And they kind of intertwine with just whole wellness, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So a little bit at a time, right? It's best write it down though somewhere, because what you're going to be able to do is just check it off. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So what are oils? Let's talk about this really quickly. I think this is important when we dive in. Essential oils are just the natural compounds that are extracted from the plant. And then they have various health benefits. We just happen to be able to use those in our body because their natural defense mechanism matches our body because it's so carbon based. And so it goes in and out. I'll show you that in a second. But if you've ever touched a peppermint plant or a mint leaf or a like cilantro, ever chopped herbs, and you get that aromatic boost, you're actually busting the essential oil stacks and extracting essential oils yourself. And so that is the coolness of it. It's that simple. And what doTERRA and scientists have done is just refined that so that they can really get it very pure. And they also know how particular plants need different processes. So like with citrus, simply squeezing it out, or like a mint, they would have to actually gently distill it with heat or steam, and that way they don't destroy the benefits. And so that is what we find in a lot of products. They heat it very quickly and then they get it out, like food grade. That would be heated very quickly. So you get the essential oil, but you also don't get any benefit. So why are they effective, right? So picture your cell right here. You're going inside. The essential oils can go in. They bring good information in and they bring out the bad information. So if you picture this little virus in there, it's helping your body to fight that off by bringing in those good information. So they just work at that cellular level, and they are naturally going to help combat any threat or health concern that we come up with. And it actually builds our health and immune system, and never builds an immunity in our body to those oils, which is a huge benefit.
True.
So one of my favorite parts is that when you go to the doctor, their number one thing is, hey, what's your symptoms? Well, here's the meds to cover that symptom, right? They
Right.
want to help you with the symptom. Never do they take the time to get down to that root cause. I actually just had a friend. Do you guys have a story where that happened?
Oh yeah, tons.
They-
Tons. Yeah, they fix the symptom, but they don't correct the problem.
That's right. They're trying to help. So my friend has heart or blood pressure issues, and then they found these high enzymes, high proteins in his liver, and they were like, well, we don't really worry about that. It's not that high. So let's just worry about this right now. And he was like, wait a minute. Why do I want to wait until there's something really wrong? And so that they were just brushing it to the side. He actually went to a different doctor, and then they found out what was causing it, and it helped both his blood pressure and his liver. So that was huge for him.
That is huge.
All right. So peppermint, I love peppermint. If you have it, awesome.
I do.
I'll put it, you can put a drop. I love to just, this is the roller, so don't look at what I'm doing, but I just drip it in my hand. I love to do it 3 ways. I put a dab here on the roof of my mouth. I rub my hands together, breathe in, and then breathe this in. And you don't, if you put this on your face, it can be tingly. So add some coconut oil. My son gets peppermint in his eye sometimes because he does this, like for his allergies, he just rolls it around his eye, and it's gotten in there.
Right.
Little bit of coconut oil, no big deal. But I feel safe enough for him to do that because I know nothing else is in here. Oops, sorry. And then I like to not waste oils. So I always put it wherever else I feel like I need it, like on the back of my neck. Give yourself a nice massage.
Right.
1 drop is the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. So when someone says, well, what's the difference? Why can't I just use peppermint leaves in my tea? Well, the oil is about 50 to 70 times more potent than the plant counterpart. That's really the only difference.
Wow. I didn't realize the ratio, but I knew that it was I knew that it was pure and that it was powerful. So
that's right. Very powerful. So 1 drop goes a long way, right? So they're going to last forever. Not forever. That was an overstatement. They're going to last a long time.
I got what you meant.
All right. So there's 3 ways to use oils. I just demonstrated the 3 ways. But if you've ever used water, we're going to talk about that because we can talk about how to use them in there. But first, let's talk about aromatic. Everyone needs a diffuser. Sometimes people say, well, I don't really need a diffuser. I don't like smells. I get headaches from smells. My husband doesn't like smells. Diffuser is absolutely important because that is how we calm the mood. That is how we adjust, like brighten our day. That's how we help to fall asleep or to even get energy. And if you just tap your forehead, there's like the little limbic system is right behind that. And the oils, when you breathe them in, are going to have a really wonderful connection with your brain, and it's going to help to get that effect in your body very quickly. So it starts out in that like psychological realm, and that's Pat. I know that's where you started, and you were able to just breathe the oils in and find such benefit, like your little necklace, and your like, if you have a bracelet, it would work too. Okay, you can also purify the air. So if there's anything stinky, and if you have respiratory issues or a cold, you can use it to support your airway.
Yeah, I chose my kit based on the fact that a diffuser was in it.
That's right. That's right. It's such an advantage to have that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we have them in every room, right? All right. So topical.
I have 2 in some rooms.
Because it's so big, right? Yeah, absolutely. So topically, I love this. It's very easy. We'll talk about what the benefits are, but I always think like a kid. Wherever you're hurting, wherever you're needing oils, like your necks, you hold your stress there. Maybe your knees are get sore. Use it before and after exercise, and then Think like a kid. If your tummy hurts, put it on your tummy. Shoulder, put it on your shoulder. They're powerful. So one drop is going to service every cell in your body. Simply putting the oils on the bottom of the feet, within 30 seconds, it's in the bloodstream, and within 22 minutes, it's in every single cell. And all we have to do is put it on the bottom of the feet. We could rub it on the chest, on the head, like I said. And this is where we would want to dilute it. I love doTERRA because they think about this, and they have lots of the products already diluted, like the Deep Blue Rub. And they also have like things like the hand soap and the hand sanitizer that are already, the oils are already diluted in there. So those are great alternatives to having to mix it ourselves. And then also we can mix it ourselves just with a carrier oil, like a fatty oil. So if aromatic is good and topical is better, then internal is even better. So with doTERRA, they highly recommend using essential oils internally. And so I have a bottle here. I can show you how to find out if the oil is safe for internal use. One, we use it several ways. Like we're going to use it in our toothpaste. We're going to use it in our water. I have lemon in my water right now. It helps cut anything. So if you're a little stopped up, it's going to help push that through. It's gentle detoxing. We also use On Guard for an immune boost, and simply under the tongue and swishing it back is a great way. And we use veggie capsules. Actually, I have them right here to show you. And they're just clear, empty little vegetable casings that we can open and drip the oils in. And they don't have to be full. Could be 2 drops, could be 10. Whatever your body needs, you add it in there to help support the entire digestive tract, the mouth, the throat, the urinary tract, all of it. So it's a great way. Now, how do you know which oils are safe? First, if it has a child cap, we know we don't ingest it. That's like the absolute #1 way, okay? So like wintergreen, birch, and deep blue will all have a child cap. Past tense now is in a 5 milliliter, 15 milliliter, and it has a child cap. That's for migraines and pain, but it's very potent, and it has things like wintergreen that we don't ingest. doTERRA put out a blanket statement like a year ago stating that generally all of the essential oils that do not have a child cap are safe for ingestion according to the, there's a scale, I can't remember what it is, but it's basically GRAS. The FDA puts it out. It's generally recognized as safe GRAS, okay? But doTERRA goes beyond that because you can go to supplements in the grocery store and you're gonna find on there everywhere, like not approved by the FDA, right? But like this is a supplement. They don't do research on it. They don't even regulate it. And that actually is something that's scary. There's no regulation on the supplement field. So if you go get vitamins at the store, you're getting a rock that's going to go in one and out the other, about 20% absorption rate. That's never good, right?
Right.
You can ask me about my brother and how he knows about waste management systems and what they pull out about every 3 months. So it's pretty gross. On every bottle that doTERRA recommends, like if they say, yes, it's best to use this oil internally, it will have a white box around the supplement fact. Okay, can you see that?
I can.
Good. That makes it very easy to know which oils to use. But it also, if it doesn't have a child cap and you accidentally ingested it, it's not a big deal. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna look at I'm looking at the On Guard right now, and it's got the white box around, and I can't. Then I've got the peppermint. It's got the white box. I've got the frankincense. It has the white box. That's what you're talking about, right?
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Inflammation, depression, all the things.
Right.
What about Breathe? Do you have Breathe oil?
Yes,
Look at that one.
I do. I got a bunch, as a matter of fact. Some of them I haven't started using as frequently, but I was talking to Pat earlier today about combining them all, like making my own oil so that I don't have to open 10 bottles and apply every single one on the behind my ears, on the back of my neck, on my wrist, on my feet, that kind of thing. I could just do that one time with all of my oils in them at the same time.
Yep, you can totally do that. Like, but there are blends that you're really not going to do anything wrong. You just do like those kind of things. It makes it very simple. You can do targeted things by splitting those up into categories. So like sleep, pain, and then you can put several of them in there, have like 3 rollers, immune boost, that kind of thing, because you want to keep your body guessing. So that's the only caveat to that. All right, so
Oh, I might talk to you about that a little bit more.
we can do that. I think we should do this. Next month, I will host a bring your oils and we'll do a roller bottle party. Like I supply the roller bottles and coconut oil, you supply the oils, and we'll have fun making rollers.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be great.
I think a lot of people will like that. Okay, so our favorite solution. All right, so we're gonna go through these. We talked about peppermint a little. Pat, what is your favorite story or favorite testimony with peppermint?
Um, it's the time that Bill and I were on a trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know it was. I wanted to hear it again. I love that story.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the story.
Well, we were on a trip and he was driving and he got sleepy and he always keeps a cloth in his car, a rag. He said, hand me my rag. And he put it out the window, mopped the water up off the top of the car, and then put it on his face. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm sleepy. I said, give me your hand. And I put some peppermint in it. I said, rub your hands together, breathe it in. He said, okay. I mean, he's not really into it like I am.
This is he hated oils at this point.
I hear you. Yeah.
But he breathed it in and he said, oh yeah, I'm awake. He said, give me another hit of that peppermint.
I love it.
So
my favorite stories.
I do love it. And he did ask for it another time.
Oil. So headaches, tension, good breath, great for cooling you down. So if you're really hot, belly button, yeah, you can put it in the belly button. You can put it at the bottom of the feet. When Max had 105 fever, I have some nurse friends. Like I am an advocate of fever, and I mean I have 4 kids, but when it gets that high, you start to get nervous, right? So I put it on the bottom of his feet and kept checking his temperature. In about 30 minutes, I applied it about every 5 minutes. In 30 minutes, it was down to 101.
Oh my goodness.
His body did the work, right?
Right.
But that's an incredible oil. Super versatile.
Well, speaking of being hot and this, that, and the other, so, menopause and hot flashes, and you wake up in the, just in the middle of the night, and it's like this, white hot heat or whatever. You just feel like your body's on fire and you're trying to strip all your clothes off and, get out from underneath the blankets and this and that and the other. You're, sweating under your breast, and, all your clothes are just soaked and your head soaked and all that stuff. And so, peppermint for me has been my lifesaver with my hot flash.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Awesome. So is that one of the things you're going through right now? Do you have a pen to write something down?
Yes.
You need grapefruit oil too. What were you going to say, Pat?
I love peppermint for the focus. Like when I get kind of sidetracked and
drowsy. Yeah.
You just
does that help with like I don't know what everybody else calls it, but I call it flitting, because I'm flitting all the way around the house. I go into the kitchen looking for one thing, and then I remember something that's back in the bedroom, and then I go back into the kitchen, into both bathrooms, and each time I hit a different room, my focus turns into something else.
I call that squirreling.
Squirreling. I got it too. I think people call it ADD. I call it woman.
I call it squirreling.
So I think that yes, that will definitely help, but there are oils like In Tune that are better. My son, when he's focusing on school and trying to really hone In Tune, he rolls all on his forearms and he just breathes it in. He loves it.
So it's called In Tune?
Yeah, it's a blend.
In Tune. T-U-N-E. In Tune.
Because as you get to know me, and Pat can tell you this, over the years, I just ramble, and I start with one subject, and I might go all the way around the block and tell you 10 to 15, 15 stories, and inevitably I'll get back to my original point. But you got it's like one thought triggers another thought and another thought and another thought and another thought, and like I say, eventually I'll get back to the point that I started with, but I'm gonna tell you everything about myself. So In Tune should help with that.
In Tune should help with that.
Well, at least you remember the point. I sometimes forget the whole point I was trying to make.
Like,
well, yeah. I've definitely done that, as well. And I'll have to ask the person, where did I start with all this? But
you're like, wait, eventually it comes. Let me write this down before I start.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. I'm starting this story right here, so they'll end up right back here at the same place.
That's right. All right. So I was going to say grapefruit because my mother-in-law, when she was first going through this menopause, she did several things. Phytoestrogen for sure. That's a supplement. But she started taking 16 drops of grapefruit in a capsule. Remember the capsules I showed? And she did it about 3 times a week, and they went away. So
really,
yes. And so grapefruit is a hormone balancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a benefit. I need to be taking more of that. I had a perimenopause or premenopausal something where I woke up sweaty. I was like, whoa, is this what it's supposed to be like?
Oh,
is this what it's supposed to be like?
You're ahead of the game.
I was like, no,
before it hits you. That's good news.
There's that grapefruit in there. All right. So lavender, let's go over these. We're going to run through these super fast.
Okay.
Lavender is a great one. This is Neil's baby. My husband has PTSD stuff. So frankincense and lavender and copaiba were his like trifecta of awesomeness. Lavender was his gateway. So remember you said you're going to tell your dad all these things and he's going to have to go research it. That's Neil. And after a year of telling him for his stress and anxiousness, try lavender. And he was like, no. And he read this medical study that said lavender and benzos were almost equivalent in the studies. It was like a double-blind study, and lavender had no side effects. And he tried it, and we were in the RV. I remember so well. He rubbed it on his beard. He breathed it in. And he's like, right about now, I'd want to drive into a telephone pole, but I don't want to. We have 4 kids. It was very loud in there. So yeah, it was a lifesaver for him. Also, if you get a burn in the kitchen, I keep a bottle in the kitchen because my kids have gotten burned. We just put it right on and it takes that burn away. Sunburns, it's great for allergies. If you have seasonal issues, like lemon, lavender, and peppermint is the perfect trifecta. If you ever have questions, search in the Facebook group if you're in there. I am trying to transition as much as I can to a website. That takes time because it's hard to get things off of Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm working on that. So lemon, lavender, peppermint for allergies. Let's see, breathe.
Lemon, lavender, and peppermint for allergies. Mm-hmm. Because this has been ongoing for weeks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm my 2nd round of antibiotics because it got so bad. And to like sidebar conversation, what you were saying about having the diffuser or have the stuff in the air so that you keeps your mood up and that kind of thing. What happens since I have an air filtration unit which like sucks up all the dust mites, sucks up all the odors, sucks up all the stuff in the air? What?
Oh, no, it's perfectly fine because what happens is those, it's a diffuser and not a humidifier. So a diffuser actually atomizes it. And so it is literally connected to the water molecules in the air. So you're not getting rid of the essential oils because they are so pure, they bond with the water. If it were something like fragrance and smells and like chemical components, it probably would take that out of there. But since they are so pure, I would not believe that would affect it. And you should be cycling your air anyway. So that's good that you have those, but I do think it would not matter.
Well, this isn't a humidifier. It's an air purifier. So it has like a sterilizer. It has a, like dust mites and pet dander and viruses and odors and things of that nature. So
No,
you
we have a whole house one. We have,
okay,
you know what I
that's
mean?
what
And so what I meant was your diffuser is not a humidifier. If it were a humidifier, it would be putting out like moisture and all this stuff. The diffuser works different, and so it's actually atomizing it and getting it. It's just going to work differently, but you're still going to get all the benefit, even if you're
okay. Okay.
so
I just want to make sure that I wasn't defeating the purpose. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. No, you'll be good. You'll be good to go. That's actually, they'll work together very well. Breathe oil, snoring, opening airways, asthma, respiratory issues. I know we used it when Pat had COVID. Just simply breathing it in opens up the lungs very well. My son uses this for sports, so it's super handy. I actually just make a little inhaler, breathe it in deep, and let it sit for a second, and then let it back out.
I know a bunch of huffers.
Mm-hmm. That's what we call ourselves, little huffers.
I know little huffers, and that almost sounds rude, like heifers, but huffers.
Mm-hmm. We need a shirt now.
So don't mistake it.
I see a new shirt coming out.
Yeah.
For huffers. The huffers. Okay, lemon, I mentioned with lemon, lavender, and peppermint, but it's just very cleansing. We already mentioned that anything sticky, we use it to clean with. We get goo off of things like labels. I use it to clean my fruits and vegetables. It's really fantastic for getting grit off or anything like that.
Okay.
Super good.
Super.
Okay. Digest Zen. So I call this the miracle oil. I have digestive issues. 2 drops in a belly button. If you ate too much wings or like spicy something, it would soothe it. If you have
2 drops in your belly.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because I was telling Pat, I went out of town this past week, and I'm not used. I mean, I can't eat 3 meals a day and do the protein shake and do the fiber and do the greens and do all that kind of stuff because I just like, blow up. I'm not I'm more of a smoothie type, protein shake, this kind of thing, and a banana for breakfast or whatever. I can't do, regular food and do all of it because it literally just, my digestive system just like shut down. It like literally my colon twisted. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
That's painful.
It's horrible.
No.
Horrible. So I was in sad shape because I was out of my element. And I think I put that in the survey. I know that I didn't get to put my name on it, but if you see where I put, that if I'm out of my element and I'm, not consistent, this, that, and the other, that would be my survey right there.
Okay, perfect. I think there were a few of those.
Yeah, I bet so. I think I had 18 good days.
That's perfect. That's awesome. It's so hard to get it perfect, and I think that's the point. We don't have to.
Right.
It's just a process. And yes, digestion would have helped if you knew that. And I need to start talking about the oils more. I used to be a broken record, and I kind of slowed back a little bit. But digestion is also great if you do struggle with that normally, or the whole macros and getting all the food in. That takes time because your body does need the fuel, but we're just not used to that. We're used to like a handful of this and a handful of that, and then our tummy tightens up, and then our body tries to store all the fat. So yeah, but digestion in warm tea is one of my favorite ways. And the trigger, like this is a tip. If you have really blocked up sinuses, if you're blocked up here, it's going to help, but also you can put it on your sinuses and behind your ears, and it will help things drain. So that's a nice hack. But it has the ginger and the peppermint. So if you don't put it on meat, that's a diluted oil.
Okay.
Deep Blue, I think you're familiar with Deep Blue.
I got 3 bottles of it.
Awesome. The rub is awesome. Really, the oil is in the rub. So it's just a diluted form of the rub.
Right.
Of the oil. And so you could double them up if you have a lot of pain. You could use frankincense deep blue and copaiba. That is a great combo for pain. Add some lavender for calming, but with the deep blue, we just, anywhere you need it, put it on, like knees, back, shoulders, whatever, and then repeat as necessary because there's no chemicals and our body doesn't get used to it.
Right. Well,
Copaiba,
I was bathing in it this weekend.
for you. Ah,
Yes.
well, good. I hope it works.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've finally, my system finally regulated itself, but it took like 48 hours.
There you go. Took a little bit, huh? The
But it's
copaiba. Did you try layering the copaiba with it or frankincense?
Oh yeah,
Good.
I did. I was using, like I said, I've got, I've got all of them, and I put them on every day. That's the first thing that I do whenever I get up in the morning is I do my Bible. I mean, I get my coffee, I put on my oils, and then I do my Bible study.
Perfect.
So, but I'm opening up all of those bottles and using them up. Like I said, I mean, I'm using them, behind my ears, back on the back of my neck, on both of my wrists, and on the bottom of my feet.
So you really need to make some rollers. I think we could probably make 3 good rollers, and you just be like roll, 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 roll.
Okay, good.
So yeah, that'll be good. And I might, if I can find the ebook, I'll send it tonight so that you can look at it. All right, let's look. Copaiba is good for seizures too. It's good for neurological disconnect. So if someone has severe depression under the tongue, a couple days of doing that, like, well, my husband would do this. He would dip pretty deep and it would last a really long time. And then he would come back out of it after like 2 months. But now if he starts to feel that, immediately frankincense, copaiba under the tongue. And by the end of the day, he's back to himself.
Wow.
It is amazing to watch. Tea tree, anything stinky, anything sore like viral or cracked skin or fungus type stuff, it's going to get rid of that. We've used tea tree and lavender for yeast infections. We've used tea tree for my son's ingrown toenails. It's just a good overall oil. We also put a drop on our toothbrushes and it cleanses them. So if you've been around people are starting to get something funky going on, like if you're still having to have the allergy issues and you're having antibiotics, when I say fire water, you need to listen really good, okay? My husband used to have he had sinus infection twice a year, and every time it was antibiotics, steroids. Since we started oils, within about 4 or 5 months of starting oils, I guinea pigged him. I didn't know. I wasn't doing that internally, but I'll try it on you. And so we used oils like tea tree and On Guard and oregano, and I put it in a capsule. And I might have used rosemary because I think I got it free. That was my first free oil. And he would take it down the minute he would feel it in the back of his throat or by his ears. And the next morning, it wasn't there. And then it would start coming a couple of days later, and he would do it again, and it wasn't there. And he was like, I think these oils are working.
You got to love that.
I love
positive affirmation.
Yeah, so 2 drops each in a shot glass of water and shoot it back. And the oregano is hot. And so it's not in this kit, but it's an oil that we want on hand when we need it, especially for that type of issue. And then I got it in my
buy one get one.
Yes, awesome. Yeah,
yes.
You want that. So lemon, lavender, and peppermint is great for if you start to feel the itchy, if you start to feel the sinusy stuff, right? But if you know the infection is there, you quickly grab the fire water. So adaptive, you're familiar.
Yes.
It is a miracle oil. It was studied for 5 years. It. Yeah, it had clinical studies. It's such a good oil. Anytime you have struggles just changing, if there's a big change in your life, you have a trouble changing environments, changing situations, moods, anything, you're struggling with change, this is an oil that is going to help someone adapt very quickly to whatever is happening. My mama will be just like you, Marnie. She had some serious anxiety. She hates driving. It gives her severe issues. And she was driving here. And if anything could go happen that went wrong, it did. She ran a semi blew out their tire in front of her. She hit the tire. She was alone. She hates a GPS too. So there's a whole thing. She stopped to pull over to get gas and food. And as she came back to her pump, she stepped over the pump and tripped, and her food went everywhere.
Oh my gosh, bless her heart.
She called me, I'm having the worst day in the world. And then about, I don't know, 20 minutes later, she called me. She's like, it's not the worst day in the world. I found my adaptive roller.
There you go.
So
I started panicking.
Yeah, she thought she had lost it. So she had it on, breathing it, and she was all good. So it was so fun to watch. All right, On Guard. Okay, so doTERRA knows how powerful this is. They have done so many studies, so many clinical studies with this. It kills 99.9% of all bad bacteria. The beauty of it is it works with our body in tandem, and so it doesn't kill the bad bacteria. Just like oregano does not kill the good bacteria. It kills the bad bacteria, but it leaves our natural biome alone. And so
Okay.
we can just trickle our immune system. And so that's the benefit. You get a little bit, instead of putting a neurotoxin on your teeth and up by your brain, you're using On Guard toothpaste. You use the soap, the cleaner. That's 14 bottles of spray. And it's $14, less than $1 a spray bottle, because it's a huge spray bottle. And you can clean your whole house with it, windows, counters, everything. I can't wait. This is a secret. I cannot wait to share. Jackson's doing a science experiment with this. And so we're gonna document it all, and he's gonna slather chicken all over the counter, and then we're gonna do different cleansers so we can see the best ones. We already know the best ones, but we're just gonna say it.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. He wanted to do this. So On Guard.
Gonna prove it.
Yes, every single day we use it in some way. Every single day. So there's a whole line for that. All right. So we already talked about co-impact sourcing. I got to go on 2 of these trips. One, we helped in Mexico. It wasn't an orphanage, but it was a home that allowed women who had children who have disabilities and they were single women, to come and drop their kids off for physical therapy while they went and worked. And then they would come and get them late in the night. And those kids had everything they needed during the day, and they would be improving while they were there. I got to go build the wall that went around it to keep the intruders out. And we got to build all these little fun things for them, like a mud pit and things like that for therapy. And it was just beautiful to see, like, the growers when we went to Hawaii and planted the sandalwood trees, and then like the giving back in Mexico and really seeing how this all works, and the heart of doTERRA and the people, like, it is just phenomenal, because there's just a massive unity and connection that allows us to get the oils we need, but also give back every single time. So it does matter where you get your oils.
Right.
doTERRA recently changed this a little bit, but it's certified pure testing, they would with certified pure therapeutic grade for a really long time. And basically if someone comes and says, oh, doTERRA made that up, I've heard people say that. Yes, they did make that up. There was no standard on the market at all. FDA doesn't care. So doTERRA created a standard, and then they just busted it out. They made sure the plants were harvested in their natural habitat. They went beyond organic standards, because organic is a word used in different countries, and it is defined differently everywhere. So they wanted to be free of any chemicals or fillers or pesticides or any foreign contaminants at all, including some companies will take the linalool out of this thing and put it into this plant because they want it to have more linalool in that essential oil. Well, that's still adulteration. Even if it's natural, it doesn't work well together in testing. And so that's why in the medical world, doTERRA is the only company ever that has worked hand in hand with doctors in clinical trials, because there's other companies that tried for 30 years. They couldn't do it because they did not have pure oils. doTERRA has consistently for 13 years given the scientists what they needed to come up with all this awesome research. So they are paving the way. It is awesome.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Help. My phone has gone into a safe driving mode, and I can't see y'all or the screen.
Listen, I don't know how to
silhouette. You're just a little silhouette.
Hold on, let me look real quick. Okay, no, that's a bed. Safe driving. Let me search it real quick on my phone and tell you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't you
I'm
worry.
tapping everywhere.
You so funny. Don't
Well,
tap anymore.
Oh,
My,
wait a
you're
minute.
back.
I'm back.
Yay!
Hello.
You
I
so
There
just
you
put
go.
it on the. I
I
just
thought
beat
you.
the
keep
screen.
tapping, keep
I
tapping.
thought you had to. I thought you had to put us on hold because Bill had a question.
He said, "Did you go to oils in the bedroom yet?"
I know, right?
All right. So healthy habits. We just went through 21 days of habits. Really, we learned something big, right? That nobody's perfect. We're all going to mess up.
Yeah.
We get back on the wagon. Those who get back on don't fail. That's it.
Amen.
Everybody messes up
Amen. I believe that all day, every day.
every day. So lifelong vitality. This is where I actually started with vitamins. I mean, I think I bought one oil. It took me like 3 months to buy oils after getting my account. You guys, I'm an anomaly. I can't get an anomaly. I haven't met anyone that did that. I just don't like to spend money. I did not hear of oils before this. It took a lot for me to understand it. I was so skeptical, but I understood vitamins. And so
Right.
I was so sick. So I just got them, 30-day money back guarantee. Couldn't go wrong, right? Tried them within 1.5 months, I was like 70% better.
It took me a year to try the
Jesus.
vitamins.
You what? It took you a year to what?
Try the vitamins.
Oh, really?
It took me, I
Girl.
told her, Pat, you need to try the vitamins.
Yeah.
Hey, if I know it's coming from God, I am right on top of it.
Yeah, they're so good. And this lies
are.
where you can get them over the counter, but you don't know where you're getting, right? So when you buy
Right.
from a trusted company, this is 90% bioavailable. That means as soon as it hits your stomach, they're actually absorbed within 20 seconds. The little veggie cap is dissolved and your body's going to recognize it as food. They're not bioengineered. They're not chemicals. They're not super vitamins. They're just perfectly aligned to fit in our body. And it's all the minerals and the vitamins and the like omegas that our body needs to run a healthy cardiovascular system, to run a healthy nervous system and a healthy immune function, to allow your body.
Okay, so were these in the kit that we did over the 21 days?
Yep. Is that
which one? Which one is the veggie cap that you're talking about? The little green one?
Okay, so the little green one is like
Yes.
Green or reddish?
Mine was green. Well, I had a green one and I had a red one.
Okay, yeah. So you should have three, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I had 5 actually.
Yes, you had Terrazyme.
5 bottles.
Yep. So you had the green one. That was probiotics.
Okay.
So yeah, we can talk about that too. Watch, I'm just going to move my slides. There you go. There you go. So now you see what we're using, right? So over here, the black bottles, Microplex VNZ is the vitamins and minerals. 22
I'm missing something. I'm not seeing the bottles, but I know what you're talking about.
Can you see this?
I can't see that.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. I'm trying to explain it. So you got the bottles at home, and there's 3 black ones. Alpha Plus, that is the antioxidants, and then XC Omega is like the little red one. That's a fish oil.
Right.
The when you buy those normally, not in the pack, you get them and then they're bundled. So they're $79, but then you can actually get for a discount up to 3 more items for $20 instead of like $40. So the green ones that you got, the Terrazyme, that's digestive enzymes. That's my lifesaver.
Right.
Breaks down food, the things that your body can't break down, right? And then probiotics, the PB Assist is the little, I call them aliens. So like little greenies, and those are the probiotics, and they just go right along with this. So that's 5 different supplements that are perfectly designed to go together.
Okay.
All right. So
that's what I was talking to Pat about today. If I just wanted to continue this whole regimen for, the protein, the fiber, the greens, all of the, the Max and the Terrazyme and the all 5 bottles, PB Assist, whatever, all 5 bottles. If I wanted to do that, if I wanted to purchase that every month, how much is that?
Okay. I'm adding it up in my head right now on paper.
Okay. Just a ballpark will be perfect.
Yeah. So 40. So I can't remember offhand how much the greens are, the fiber, and the protein. I think the protein is what, 39. I'm pretty sure. And then I think the greens and the other is around 20 something. So I'm just gonna put 20 each. And so total 180.
180.
And so like vitamins, minerals, all the things you need. And that's all 5 capsules. And then plus the nutrients, the
Right.
supplements, the powders and stuff.
Well, see that, I mean, yeah, because the kit was the kit was a little bit more than that. I can't remember how much it was whenever we got it, but I mean, I can do 180.
Yeah. And plus if you're going to be on the loyalty rewards, and that
Right.
helps us because in the first 3 months, you're going to get 10% back of that to spend later. And then
Okay.
over the course of a year, as you go, it bumps up 5% every 3 months. And so
Okay.
as long as it's open, there's no obligation ever. We can always walk you through if you ever have a struggle, but this is people's livelihoods, right? So we have people buying every month because this is like groceries. You can't live without it, right?
Amen.
Exactly. Then at the end of the year, you get 30% back of all that. So if you spent $200, you're going to get $60 back every
Awesome.
single month. Every single month. And so that's huge because that's a free bottle of frankincense. Like that's free,
Absolutely.
that's free healthcare. I call it free healthcare.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So we don't have to, we can go through this just so you understand it. Okay. So retail, no longer do you need to worry about that. We don't let friends buy retail anyway. We do wholesale. Wholesale is 25% for the entire year. You automatically get that when you buy a package, or if someone starts with 35 like I did, you get 35 and then you come back and get whatever you want for 25% off for a year. But most people start with a starter kit and that's below wholesale. So it's all bundled. They know what we need, right? So they bundle it together and you get 25% off the rest of the year, but you didn't have to pay membership. Another perk, if ever, you didn't have to start with a kit, but you could. doTERRA allows us to buy all the kits. So sometimes people come to me when they want to do the business, like after they've been using their oils, they're like, oh, well, I want to start sharing. What's the starter kit? What's the cost of a starter kit? And I'm like, there isn't one. Like you just use your oils. Like that's just all it is.
Right.
And so that's the beauty of it. You spend your $100 a month, usually 125 because you get your free product, right? And guess what? You're already qualified. Everything is qualified, but you do have access to all these. And so that was the Natural Solutions. This one is called the Healthy Start. It's just the top 10 oils. It has frankincense. That's the difference between this one and the one you got. You got all the BOGOs, right? That's the way to go, but that's only once in a while, right? So
Right.
top 10 oils, mini bottles. And then we have a little sample pack that I use to customize people. So when someone needs something very specific, like the shakes or the vitamins, then I have them get this, and then either the vitamins or this and the shakes, whatever they need, so that they don't have to pay membership.
Right. I can't remember what Pat started me out with.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't either.
You mean when you joined up, it was the BOGO?
Oh yeah, it was a BOGO.
Okay.
That's what you started in an awesome way.
Because yeah, and she barely got in. It was right before they sold out.
They sold out right after. They'll sell out.
That was whenever I officially started, was with the BOGO.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because then we started, because then I started, ordering the other things like the
Wild orange that you wanted.
I got the wild orange, and then I got the blue rub, and I got the digestin, and then I knew that I needed the adaptive. I got that one. I think I got that one. That was one of the first ones because I ran out of that. You gave it to me as a sample, and I knew that I needed that one.
Yeah.
Then I ended I ended up ordering the Serenity the last time too. So I can't remember what all I bought. I just know I got a big box of them over here that I love.
Yay, I know.
You'll get them organized. It's so fun to organize them. Actually, if you're nearby, I have
This is full of oils that I put on every day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I have a rack. We should meet up because I have a rack if you
Oh,
want
you do?
to put on their wall. Do you know like the white one I used to have? And it was a circle and it has like a tree of life on it and you can put all the oils on it.
Really? Oh, I absolutely need that.
Okay, you can have it.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to have that.
All right.
Among
there
other
again,
things.
well, there again. Here's the other one.
Oh wow, yeah, you totally need it.
Yeah, I do. I got my my Dannon Light and Fit yogurt thing that's full of them, and I got the other BOGO boxes full of them. And then here, of course, is my 2 blue bottles or whatever of deep blue.
Yeah.
And I gave one to my friend David because he's got he's got what's that carpal tunnel. He's got carpal tunnel real bad, and he has to use his hands all the time.
So you're already sharing. You're already sharing.
Oh yeah. I've been sharing. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the first times that I went to see David, and he was kind of struggling a little bit. I told him to sit down. I said, I'm gonna put all these oils. I said, don't have any expectations. I said, I don't want you to think that it's going to do anything. I just want you to see how I just want you to tell me how you feel after I apply all of them. So I put everything that I use behind his ears, on the nape of his neck and on his wrist or whatever. And I let him do his own feet.
Yeah,
because he's got ticklish feet. He was like he'd be jumping all over the place. So anyway, he goes, I feel like I'm high or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had a little buzz. He was flitting around and all giggly and giddy and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's what I told you.
I love it.
I know, it's good news.
That's nice to see someone's face light up after that,
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, he really was giggling because he's going through a pretty tough time right now. I've known him since high school. I've got all these guy friends that I've known since high school, but I'm like, they're, I don't know. They're real. Pat will tell you that she and I, we needy people navigate towards us for whatever reason. And
yeah, I have some training to help you get out of that if you need it.
Oh, do you? Well, it's becoming all consuming here recently.
Oh,
so
yeah, you cannot do that. That will drain you like crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
okay.
Yeah, crazy.
Well,
But anyway,
you got. This is the kit you got on the screen, and then they added the powders to it. Okay, so there's the large bottles. Let's just run through these super fast so you know. This is Healthy Home. This is probably my most popular one because it gives people the On Guard, the shampoo, and then all the oils.
Okay.
It's just handy. Here's the thing to know, like, as you're on our team, you get a lot of perks. You might find someone who sells oils, but they don't do what I do. I promise.
I know that already. Just bringing me by Christmas gifts and stuff. Sweet thing.
I spoil people. Pat will tell you, I spoil them. And then I do private consults, 30 minutes for people that I enroll. Usually, Pat usually would do it with you, right? I do exclusive team. I have a website that I'm working on. I promise it's almost done. The private oil community is on Facebook. And then I have an oil camp that you can go through. And I also have all kinds of ebooks and resources that are free for you. And all of the classes that I offer are free for anyone who enrolls with us. So if you enroll people, they'll all get that training for free.
Oh, sweet.
People, all of them are free. So Monday nights, 8 p.m., every single Monday, rain, shine, hail. If I'm sick, I have people who come in. So okay. I have it all set up. And then You also get rewards. I do team raffles. I have a letter that goes out, like a newsletter. There's all kinds of good stuff. Okay. And then if you host classes, you also get awesome gifts too. So there's all kinds of good stuff. Watch, there's music that comes. If I teach a class, I'm like, all right, let's get you guys set up. If you like things to be more professional, you can use.
I know that song.
Yeah, got a feeling.
Yep.
You can use a slideshow to do classes. I did not, did I, Pat? In the beginning, I think I taught 100 classes of the same exact thing. I never mixed it up ever. It was always the same class, and you learned something new every time, didn't you?
Right.
Absolutely.
You said that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that, didn't I, Marnie?
Oh, she just said that today. She said, I've heard it. She goes, but I always learn something new every time.
Every time. And
I told her. I told her how I followed
you're
you.
A wealth of information.
That's right.
I told her I followed you around like a little puppy dog.
Oh, I know. I just found out that you lived in
it.
Manning for a short period of time.
I loved every minute, and I still do. And we little buddies.
Believe me, I don't know how many years I was able to work there, but I was in and out of there a couple of times, and I mean, truly, Manning is like family. Still is like family. I mean, I've known Pat since she was doing Reach to Recovery way back in the day.
Yeah.
So you know, she has been my family, and we've been able to do some great things in Manning for cancer survivors, and through our relay event and stuff like that, which no longer exists. But the cancer support group still benefits from the things that we were able to do back then.
That's right.
Well, maybe it'll come back.
Not relay.
What they're doing in Manning, I think what they're doing in Manning right now serves their community much better than what the American Cancer Society could do.
Oh, good. That's awesome. I know, Pat, when you did that, I was right there with you figuring that out.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, that's all I got for you guys.
Oh.
Well, that was amazing, Crystal. I mean, that's so much good information. And I know that in the very beginning, you know, I was having a hard time, you know, getting on here. And then at one point, whenever you first started talking about drinking and adding to the beverages, lo and behold, Miss Marnie's phone died. The battery was dead from being on the phone all day counseling all my patients. But so I'm glad that you recorded this, because I'm going to go. Do I need a link to like go back and watch this again so that I can like write all this stuff down?
Absolutely. What I'll do, I'm going to stop recording right now.